Let's just start the stream off with the close-up of my cat. Really, like, much better content than anything I've been delivering at all at any point in the past. So let's just focus on the cat. Good kitty, cute kitty, fluffy kitty. Doesn't look like the microphone is picking up her purrs, unfortunately. All right. Oh, baby. What a good kitty. Sorry. Not sorry. I have nothing to apologize for. It's my cat. Like I said, it's best content I can possibly be delivering to you. I'm sorry that I'm going to stop focusing on my cat, or at least try to, and start trying to focus on this game that I'm making. So I'd like to cut an alpha on Monday. I'm aiming for a weekly sort of release cycle. Like, this whole cutting an alpha thing is kind of silly anyways, because all the code is up on GitHub at any point. This whole alpha cutting thing just sort of gives me like kind of milestones to think about, which I kind of like. So I want to cut an alpha on Monday, and then I want to do some kind of big work. I made some changes to the to-do just before the stream started. So alpha 2, we're going to try to start adding in a score. I don't know if we're going to get it finished. Like, in particular, I don't know if I'm going to get it displaying properly. So I'm going to do that on a separate branch. But, cat. The next big thing I want to do is, right now all the bricks are 8 by 8, and I want them to be 8 by 4. So to show you what I mean, here's the game right now, and you can see all the bricks. They're 8 pixels by 8 pixels. And now let me just pull up a screenshot. Yeah, you helping? Let me pull up a screenshot of Arkanoid, which is like sort of the game that is inspiring Bust Free. You can see the bricks here are actually they're 8 by 16, so that's another thing I could do. I could make the bricks really big. So that's an option. Or the Game Boy Classic, not Alley Boy, Alleyway, the classic Game Boy game that is like Arkanoid is called Alleyway. Wow. And you can see here the bricks are all 8 by 4, I believe. You know, I've never actually downloaded the ROM to like compare, but I'm pretty sure the bricks are 8 by 4, not something crazy. It's not 8 by 4. So I think I want to look something like this. Like, this makes really good use of the Game Boy's screen in a way that we're not really here. We have very few bricks comparatively. So so I think I want to try doing something like that for the next beta. That's going to be some kind of big changes. It's going to involve a lot of changes to the collision detection code, the physics, which are always my least favorite things to mess around with. Of course, it's going to involve changes to the map format and to drawing the map. So that's a pretty big change. So I'm going to hold off on that until we cut the beta next week. In the meantime, you know, I just want to have like a nice chill stream today. It's Friday. It's the weekend. Just like gently ease into it. And I feel like doing some score would be a good way to do that. So let's do that. Let's knock out the score. And the score gives me an opportunity to show something which I haven't gotten a chance to show yet, and to be honest, learn something that I've never really gotten a chance to learn because I've never worked on a game with a score. And the thing about a score is that, yeah, you want to use binary coded decimal for the score probably because that makes it easier to display. And for those of you who don't know what binary coded decimal is, that means that instead of storing your number the way that we conventionally store numbers in binary, where we've got some bits and we just like store the numbers as a string of bits or whatever. Instead, we kind of we store each digit in a fixed number of bits. So whereas like 16 in a byte using standard binary notation is going to be like 0001, 000. Maybe 16 is a great example. Let's use 20. So that, I think that's 20. Equals 20 equals 14 in hex. So instead of storing it like this, you instead store it like this. Maybe 20 wasn't a great example either. So that is like the actual number there is 32. And but that corresponds to 20 in binary coded decimal. And what that is like we're just using these first 4 bits to encode the first digit. So that bit is, that bit is 2. Or that number is 2 there, that nibble. And then this is a 0. So that gets us 2, 0. So that looks a lot like hex. I guess a place where it wouldn't look like hex is if we took something like 2C, which, what does that equal? 32 plus 12 is 44. So that, what would that be? That would be 0, 0, 8. Yeah. So that's actually going to correspond to 20. Well, actually, this doesn't correspond to anything. Sorry, this doesn't correspond to anything in BCD. You're gonna have to forgive me. Like I said, I'm like familiar with binary coded decimal, but I've never actually coded anything with it. So, yeah, like this is invalid in BCD because there is no digit, which is 12. Like that's not a digit in decimal. So why is this good? This is good because it's super, super easy to it's super, super easy to display this on a screen versus using an actual decimal number, because all you have to do is just look at the 4 bits and choose the corresponding like tile for that or digit for that to display. If you're trying to display something like this, like convert this to 20 to display on the screen in decimal, well, I mean, good fucking luck. You have to divide and just all sorts of stuff like that and take the remainder in order to get the digits out. Obviously, you can do it. It's not that hard. But it's like terrible on a platform like the Game Boy. Because the Game Boy doesn't have built-in division or remainder functions or instructions or anything like that. So it's really unpleasant. Whereas with binary coded decimal, it's quite pleasant. And the Game Boy CPU has a little bit of support for BCD. They're used for the DAA. It has this thing called the DAA instruction, which means decimal adjust accumulator. Yeah, and this gives you some idea. Binary code decimal numbers range from 00 to 99 hex, rather than from 00 to FF hex. So let me see if I can figure out how to actually do this, because yeah, I've never done this before. Like I said, so let me get rid of these changes that I made, which obviously we don't want to keep. Where should I put this? I'm going to put this in game.asm right now. Eventually, because we're eventually going to add this to the window here. So let's use, I'm going to do the thing where you just add 0 to the score when displaying it. So add a couple of zeros, which is like a really common thing. Like for whatever reason, arcade games, the scores always are like 100, 1,000, whatever. Like you never have arcade games where you get a score of like 1 or 2 points. I guess because bigger numbers look better. So what would be a good looking score for me? If I give you 100 for each time you hit one of these bricks, and there's 72 bricks in the level, 7,200 for a single level, and obviously we want it to scale up a little bit more. So 10,000 is a good limit. 100,000 is starting to look like a good limit. But maybe we want to go for a whole million. So I'm just going to write this down. A million, well, we don't want an actual million. We just want, because we're going to just add 2 zeros artificially. So hell, we might as well use 3 bytes for the score. So that gets us up to 10 million points, which is, you know, definitely more than we're ever going to want to need, probably. Although who knows? I don't know. We'll see how the game develops. I think 10 million, it seems like a good score cap. Or actually, it wouldn't be 10 million, it would be 100 million. Even better, 9,990,000, whatever. 99,999,999. I think that'd be good. So we're going to allocate 3 bytes for the score. A nick game. I had this procedure called a nick game. There we go. So we just clear the score, set the score to 0 on the game start. I'm going to make this global. And here's where it's going to get interesting. Nelly, what's the matter? Do you want to come for more pets? I think you do. I think you do. No, you don't. Do you? Man, it's gonna suck when I need to go and actually get a job and get off sabbatical, get off full employment, because right now I just feel like I'm living my best life. I'm programming Game Boy games. I'm petting my cat a lot. It sucks that there's a pandemic going on and I can't, you know, go anywhere or meet people or do anything like that. But you know, aside from that, aside from this horrifying world circumstance, things are so good right now. Nelly, sorry. There we go. Okay. Look at that cat. Look at that cat. Okay, so, fine, Ellie. Don't get doted on. Whatever. So the only thing I want to do is when we break a brick, where does that happen? Check collided brick, check stage collided, clear collided brick. Somewhere in here, clear collided brick. Do I have anywhere in my to-do an improved like 2U win screen? Some sort of ending. Okay, I do. Good. I just like notice, like, hey, I've got this code here which gives you a game over once you clear all the bricks. That sucks. So here's what we're gonna do. First, I'm gonna Google this instruction. See if I can. Let me just go to Z80 Heaven. Where is, yeah, there it is, instruction set. DAA, hopefully this is a good, the A register is BCD corrected using the contents of the flags. The exact process is the following. If the least significant 4 bits of A contain a non-binary coded decimal digit, i.e. it's greater than 9, or the H flag is set, then 6 is added to the register. Then the 4 most significant bits are checked. If this more significant digit also happens to be greater than 9 or the C flag is set, then 60 is added. If the second addition was needed, the C flag is set after execution. Okay. So I'm gonna call increment score. I'm gonna put this in a separate procedure because it's gonna be surprisingly tricky, I think. We're gonna load HL with score. I'm going to increment A, decimal, adjust accumulator, and then yeah, I'm gonna have a loop. Basically, I'm just gonna have a loop where I I get the digit into A, I increment it, I do this decimal adjust, which is going to put it in bounds. It's gonna make it a valid digit, write it back, and then if I carried, I need to do the same thing again to the next higher digit up. And this, I believe, should work. At least up until the point where I overflow. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't have any display code for it. Yeah, Nelly? Yeah? What's the matter? Why are you mooing like a cow? I'll never know why she was mooing like a cow. I'm going to reload the ROM. I'm going to go to score, which is over here. I'm going to start the game, and I'm just going to watch. Oh, whoops. What happened to all my lives? Oh, I clearly did something very wrong there. I mean, I even feel like I have to get her up in front of the camera for this. She kind of, well, maybe like a sheep or something. Like she's definitely got some like barnyard animal colorings. Hello, by the way. Thanks for tuning in. Let me fix whatever horrible bug that I just introduced. All I did is add this. Oh, that's what I did. That's what I did wrong. That was dumb of me. Put that there, and it should. Yeah, I was getting the total bricks, and then I called this. I just was calling increment score at the wrong time. Sure, no worries. Try to enjoy if you can, and if not, you know, work is important. So let's reload the ROM and see how this goes. Three. The thing I'm most interested in seeing, and what I might actually do, is I might modify this. So I'm going to actually set this to 99 hex and see what happens. Oh, something really bad seems to happen. So clearly I don't understand this binary code to decimal as well as I thought I did. So let me modify this again and set it to 99 again, and then hit that and see what happens here. So we hit the breakpoint, we load it, we increment A, so now A equals 9A, we do the decimal adjust, and then we write it in. It's perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. And then I jump back and I load this. I increment A and I adjust it and I write it back. What? No, what? Huh. That's interesting. Why did that happen? Oh, I guess I need to clear the carry flag each iteration through? Oh yeah, that makes sense. I have to clear the carry flag each iteration through because increment doesn't clear the carry flag. So what's happening is that if the carry flag gets set because we've wrapped around from 99 to 100, we loop back here and the carry flag is still set. So these instructions just do their thing. So if I just change this to add 1, that'll clear the carry flag because add clears the carry flag. Let me just add a note of that to myself. So that should fix it. Reload ROM, run, go back here. Oh, whoops. Where did the, there you are. So let me try that again. I'm going to set this to 99. I'm going to fire it off, and we'll see what happens. Same deal, but this time carry is cleared, and so we write it in. Cool. And that's what we want. So, okay. There we go. Score is working. That's probably worth a commit. I've got Discord open again. Shh, quiet Discord. All right. So let's commit that. But we still have a couple of things to do. The first thing we need to do is we need to cap the score. which is, I'm just trying to think of what the nicest way to do that is. Like, what I could do in this case is just check to see how many times I've gone through this loop, and if I've gone through the loop too many times, reset it back to the max. Yeah, why don't I do that? Well, I don't want to do, I don't want, yeah, that's probably what I should do. I should like basically just check to see if I'm ever writing out of bounds. So I'm gonna get L. And I'm just gonna compare it to low score plus 1. Oh, sorry, not low score plus 1. Call it score.end, which is a little. Can I do that? Is that going to compile? Okay, that compile. Oh, no, yeah, that doesn't get exported. So I might put in like game.inc like score digits Q. Score bytes. We'll call it score bytes. And we're going to say 3. And we'll just here put it in here, score bytes. And then here we're going to compare low score plus score bytes. We import game.inc here, don't we? No, we don't. Okay, let's get that. Okay. So basically, we just do a bounds check here, and if we have looped so many times that we're now pointing past the end of the score, we're going to just jump to the routine called cap score. And all cap score is going to do is write 99 to each byte. Loads HLIA deck register jump relative not 0 to 3. Actually, let me do that and use a loop in a init game as well now that I've got this constant going. Call clear score. Okay. Load HL score. So A load B score bytes. Dot loop. And then this isn't like necessary. What was there earlier worked just fine, but I like this because now I can just like, if I decide I want an extra byte of score, I can just add it, no problem. Or if I want to get rid of one, I can just get rid of it, no problem. I feel like this, honestly, I feel like both of these should go into game instead of into ball, so maybe I'm going to do that. And that's good, because then I don't need to include that there. I don't need to make that public. I do need to make increment score public, which sucks. It is what it is. Nope. I'm going to call this loop instead of C. Yeah? Oh, God, what a good cat. Okay. Does that build? Did I screw anything up there? I didn't. Cool. So I'm going to actually move some of it, or put some of these changes into the, all of these changes into the previous commit. Yeah, I might just amend the previous commit. And now let me just test it, and I will test it in much the same way as I was doing before. Breakpoints. Let me clear this breakpoint. Let me go find increment score and add a breakpoint there, and go here and find score. And once the game starts, I will set it to, I'm just going to set this to 99 and this to 99 and this to 99. So let's see what happens now. So I run this, we get the score. No, that definitely didn't work right. It did not work right at all. What went wrong there? Oh, I just had an unconditional jump. That's why. Jeez. Yeah, I can just do it all at once. I wasn't sure if I could, but I can. So, let me just check. It says we compared to B9, and that's exactly what I want to do. Perfect. So, we're going to do this loop. We end up writing 0 to the score, and then we loop again. And then we're going to go into cap score, and then we end up writing 9. No, that didn't. Oh, yeah, okay, that was good. We ended up writing 999 into the score. Cool. That is what I want to see. That is awesome. Yeah, Nellie? Oh, I see. Such a good cat. Oh my gosh. High quality cat. Okay. So I guess the next step, the next obvious step is that we want to show the score. I'm wondering how many, do I actually have room on the screen for this? Like, I said I wanted to show up to 999, or 99,999,999, which is, let me write this down. Okay, well, yeah, it's actually going to be, God, what is it? Yeah, it's going to be like this. This is going to be the max total score, because that's 1, 2, 3 binary coded bytes. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Then we have plenty of room for I don't have any way of giving you extra lives. I'd like to add one eventually, but we can like cap that out too, and we'll be fine. We'll have a very high cap. Which checks out. So what's 8 times 8 times 8 is 64. The width of the screen is 160. It leaves us over 100 pixels for, yeah, it's totally fine. I'll just cap your max lives at 9 and we're good. So, yeah, let's, we want to add this to the draw status. Actually, we've got a little bit of a problem here because I don't actually have the font loaded right now. So, I'm going to need to load the font. Where do I load the graphics here? Load BGGFX. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to replace this with the call to load font. I just want to see syntax error. Where's the syntax error? Line 9? Oh yeah, that's not code. So I'm going to do that, and obviously we're going to get garbage graphics when the game starts, which is fine. What I wanted to do is I wanted to see, okay, you are here. Perfect. So I'm just going to start loading the, I'm going to keep load font, and then I'm going to add load BGGFX again, but I'm going to go into where I have those graphics, which is in tiles, I believe. Instead of loading it to 8800, I'm going to load it to 8B00. So let's reload this and just check to make sure we've got all the tiles we want in memory. And we do, that's the tile that we want. And then I'm going to go over to stage. And I'm going to replace this with B0. And having done all that, it looks like, yeah, I mean, it looks good here, and we've got all the tiles that we want in place. So this is like slightly wasteful because we keep clearing out all the video memory and reloading the font over and over again, but since we're doing it while the screen's off, it's negligible, and this sort of like eliminates any state that is shared between the different game modes, which I prefer just to, so I don't need to think about stuff. So I'm going to save that change in the commit. Ooh. Get reset, get I'm going to save that change in the previous commit. I thought that was already in there, but I guess not. Load font 0 gameplay. And there might even come a time when we want to draw the background graphics over like the letters, which we're not using, or the punctuation, which we don't actually use during the game, but for now this is fine. And then I'm going to go over into draw status, and I'm going to rename that to draw lives. I'm going to call this draw lives. And then I'm going to have another one, which I'm going to call draw score. And then draw score, what are we going to do? We are going to start at, so we said that 0, 0, digit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9A, 2C is going to be where the first potential digit goes. I want to actually derive that. So that is if we had 1 byte. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be 9A32 minus score bytes times 2. So if we had 1 byte of extra score, it would be over here. Yeah. So that's right. And now for HL, I'm going to set that to score plus score bytes minus 1. I'm going to get the upper score byte. We're going to do a loop. The loop is going to run score bytes times, so once for each byte of the score. We're going to get the byte. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the top nibble. So we're going to and out the bottom nibble. We're going to swap it into place. And then what are the tiles like? We're going to just add 80 to it. So if the top nibble was 0, we'd be adding 80. If the top nibble is 1, or we'd get 80, then we'd get 81, and so on. And then I'm going to write that to the screen. And then I can safely increment just E. Draw top nibble. And then I'm going to just get that nibble again, or that byte again, but this time I'm going to decrement HL so that we move backwards. In the score, this time we don't need to swap, we're just going to clear the top nibble, we're going to add 80. We're going to write that in, we're going to decrement the E. If it's not 0, we do the whole thing over again. And when do I draw the score? That's the other question, because I'm going to need to draw status. I draw status when you start the game. Is there any other time that I mean, what do? When you lose a life, I don't call draw status, do I? I manually clear out the byte. So this is going to work, sort of. It's just never going to update. We're just going to get zeros. Oh, and I need to also do one more thing, which is I need to load X over A, or no. I need to load A with 80, which is going to be the 0 digit, and I need to write that into DE for the bottom 2 digits. So this will show me the score, but unfortunately it's not going to actually update properly because, yeah, it doesn't even. Why didn't it show me the score? Did it not compile, or am I dumb? Also possible. Draw score. Oh, right, because I'm drawing it. That's why, because I'm dumb and I drew it to the map and not to the window. So I just need to adjust my start position. Yeah, so I am going to need to redraw the score whenever it changes, whenever you like bounce against a brick or something like that. But what I was expecting was to see zeros here, but I'm not seeing zeros because I drew it to the map. And the map is actually covered up by the window here, and I want to be drawing it to the window. So all I need to do is just adjust where I drew it. This is 9A2C. So I just wanted 9COC. Right, so I want to set this to, I think, 9C12. I think this will do the right thing. Run. And that is 2 phony digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 real score digits. But yeah, it doesn't actually get updated, even though the score is changing, because, yeah, score. It doesn't get updated yet, even though the score in memory is changing, because we don't redraw the status all the time. And trying to redraw the status all the time would be pretty slow. I wonder if I can get away with redrawing the status all the time. It would be very wasteful. Let me actually, instead of redrawing the status all the time, I'm gonna have is score important in my game zone? I mean, I'm making like an arcade game, right? What is the point of score in arcade games? I've never been the sort of person who gets really into like score attack style things. I think I like the idea of, you know, maybe you get a certain number of points and you get rewarded with an extra life. I like the idea sort of as an exercise of using a high score table as an excuse to add like save RAM. I don't think it's like particularly important. I guess like ideally the sense of progression is going to be guided by I'm the sort of person who likes games which like have a beginning and an end, and you work towards getting towards the end. So I think the real sense of progression is going to be you get better at the game, you're able to like beat the level, you're able to maybe go to future, further levels. So the score is not going to be super crucial, but I sort of think that if you're making a game like this, it should have a score. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a flag. I'm going to call it status dirty. I'm just going to set that to 0. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have enough VBlank time that I can just get away with this. And that'll actually simplify things a little bit over here. So here, instead of doing all of this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to load A with 1, and load status dirty into A, or load 1 into status dirty. And I'm going to do something similar whenever we increment the score. In fact, I'm even going to do that in here. The score is what? It's just the window. It's one row of tiles. This is pretty tight code. I think I can just get away in my VBlank handler with saying status. So I'll need to actually do this in like right at the very beginning because heck, maybe yeah, that's what I need to do. I'm going to put this into vblink.asm. So what I'm doing here is I'm just adding this flag. And if this flag is set, then in vblank we redraw the status bar. And like, that should hopefully be okay. Like really, you don't want to be doing any more in vblank than you absolutely have to because it's such a short window of time. I think it's like 4,000 cycles off the top of my head, though I might be getting that wrong. So it's very, very little time. But that's probably enough time to redraw the status bar. And this way I don't really need to think about like, well, what are the tiles that I'm going to need to change, precisely to update the score. All I have to do is say, no, the status bar is dirty, redraw it, and we'll redraw it. And if I really wanted to get crazy about it, what I could actually do is I could allocate some RAM for the status bar as well, for like a mirrored copy of it, and do all like the hard work of redrawing it in RAM outside of vblank, and then in vblank I can just like super quickly write it to the screen. And if I ever start running out of vblank time, that's probably what I'm going to do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a buffer. And then because it's like just way faster you can copy stuff really quickly compared to like doing all the shifts and stuff I did in draw status. Like this is not particularly fast. So if I ever start struggling with vblank time, I'm going to do that. Write it into RAM and then copy the RAM copy into video memory during vblank. But for now, this should be fine, I think. We'll see. Unknown simple draw status. I didn't export it, that's why. So let's see. Bunch of questions like, will this work? And yeah, that works great. It doesn't update the number of lives you have though, which is really weird. I don't know why that's. I must have accidentally deleted the code that decrements your lives. Whoops. Let me go back to this in ball, unfortunately. Well, we do update this here. We decrement it. Oh, you know what? I bet in my draw status code, I don't actually take into account the number of lives you have. I just do this number of starting lives. That's funny. Yeah, let's fix that. It's still not going down. I don't understand. Did it not? It built. It built. Reload. Run. I don't really understand why it's not going down. I can run out of lives. Huh, what's going on there? Let me pull that up. Draw lives. and just set a breakpoint. And, oh, okay, this is fine. So yeah, we're gonna, no, well, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm gonna just lose my life. Here we go. So I get the number of lives, which is 3 now. Oh, it's because I'm not clearing out the previously drawn status bar. That's the problem. So I draw the 3 lives, and this one is just lingering. The more that I do this, the more I'm thinking I want to just have this buffer. That's what I'm thinking. So let's do that. Because what I really want to do is I want to clear it first and then draw it. And yeah, it's just gonna start getting too slow and too messy. So this is right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Good luck with your stream. You also have a good night. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. So this is going to be 20 tiles. Yeah, 20 tiles. So I'm going to allocate 20 tiles, and that's going to be the status bar. Copy status is just going to load HL with status bar. It's going to load DE with 9C00. It's going to load B with 20, and we're just gonna copy it. So just grab a byte, write it into memory, increment our destination, decrement our counter. If our counter is not 0, we return. And I'm going to also have a routine, which is clear status. And that is just export A, load HL status bar, loop, just the same thing, set up counter, load B with 20. So that's clear status, that's copy status. And then all I'm going to do in here is in draw status, I'm going to, here's where I'm going to say that the status bar is dirty. And then these, instead of going right to the screen, are going to go to, you're at 9C, right? Okay, so yeah, you're going to go to status bar plus 12 hex. And yeah, you're just going to go to status bar. And do I have use status dirty anywhere else? Yeah, don't do that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to call draw status. There we go. Reload ROM, run. Let's see how this goes. Well, that sort of worked. Didn't quite work. Check stage collide. It's like clear collided brick. What do I do here? I call increment score. What does increment score do? Oh yeah, increment score doesn't do the right thing. There we go. Reload ROM. Cancel. Clear that breakpoint that I didn't realize that I had set. And there we go. It's working like a charm. Beautiful. That is what I was gunning for. Oh, hey, I'm at an hour. So let's see here. Sorry, what was my last commit? Load font during gameplay. Add score. Let me see. Let me see if I can... split up this diff where I draw the score. Let me see if that's worth it, splitting up the diff at all. Because I could split this. I do want to edit that. So this will be two diffs. There'll be one diff where I do this refactor and draw the lives, like do this refactor about how I handle the status bar, where I update it just by saying, oh, it's dirty, redraw it, split it back in, instead of like trying to pick out, oh, this is where the tile for your last life was, and do all that. I'm going to clear all that out and just do this refactor in one diff, and then handle status bar better, and then do this other diff where I actually draw the score. Awesome. Okay, perfect. And I think that's it for today. That was like basically exactly what I wanted to do. I got the score going, and yeah, that puts me in like a really good position for releasing an alpha on Monday. So right on. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. Anyone who is watching, be it on Twitch or on YouTube. Have an awesome weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Yeah. Take it easy. Bye.